Lenny flies at him, fist landing square on his jaw. Alpha barely stumbles and is able to catch a second punch before it connects. You watch, stunned. Yeah, this is bad, isn't it? Numerous soldiers step forward to grab Lenny, who starts throwing shots wildly in all directions before he is finally subdued. Yeah, picking a fight with one guy is not a good idea. Alpha, despite his bloody nose, looks completely composed in the face of Lenny, who is struggling to break free of two men restraining him on either side. Get your fucking hands off me. That was one hell of a hook, kid. Why don't you fight back, you coward? Gamma, who has managed to break through the crowd on the opposite side of the circle, steps forward. So this is how you repay our kindness. At last, the Dust Bowl mongrel shows its true pedigree. You didn't hear what he... Delivering a few simple truths, that's all. Oh, Lenny. Don't tell me you're still carrying a grudge after all this time. A grudge? You bastards did nothing when they came for us. What? We begged you to drive them off again and again, but you just waited until... And when hope was nothing but a bloody ruin, when it was too late to save anyone, then you came in and wiped the bandits out. So Lenny did know the base existed. Why did he lie? Oh, who saw that coming? Lenny lying? Whatever. Am I supposed to be grateful? Why did you even tell me that? I thought you deserved to know after all these years. Besides, our decision was sound. We couldn't compromise the base. You. Lenny, I'm sorry for what happened to your family. I don't blame you for resenting the army for what you perceive to be inaction on our part. Christ, that's politician speak. But is it really fair for you to bring Davette into your little game of revenge? When you worked out she was part of a military project, it must have felt like a miracle to be handed the one thing you knew we would want. Gamma knows? About the project? About you? It felt pretty great. Thinking about you stupid arseholes sitting around with your thumbs up your asses, with no idea your experiment fucked up and how I had the only thing that came out of it. She was the best revenge the Dust Bowl could have given me. I would have lived the rest of my life laughing inside because I knew you'd never get to have her. Lenny? His head whips round and noticing you standing there for the first time, his entire body freezes. They're not really appealing, this character, to me, are they? Really? I mean, he's just... So they fucked me over, the government, originally, but that was years ago, under a different management. Lenny is now. He's actively lied all the way through at whatever. Davette, your head is reeling trying to process all of this information. The whole time, he knew that there were others out here, people who were looking for you. People who could give you the answers, the future, that Lenny let you believe didn't exist. While your own mind tries to make sense of all this, your body moves on its own. Run out of the room, back away, shaking your head, hit him. Back away. I think the way I've been playing this character so far, I'd be really pissed off, wouldn't you guys? I'd be really pissed off. You stride forward and smack him across the face. How could... Hey, wait, just listen. No, you don't want to hear it. You turn and hurry out of the room. Davette, wait. You don't stop. You are in your room. You've been there for a while. In fact, you've barely left it at all since yesterday. You heard the news from Gamma. Lenny was taken down to the cells on the basement level. After all, he did attack the base's commander. Up until now, those cells have only been used to house retrieved mutants found in the wasteland. Gamma even told you that some of the soldiers have been grumbling about having to shift the infected around so that Lenny could have a room. You haven't gone to see him yet. He knew, all along, he knew that the military had an outpost here. And ever since you found that lab together, he knew that you had a connection to them. He knew you were valuable to those people and decided he'd rather you both died alone out in the Dust Bowl than bring you here. Here, where you might have a future, he would have denied you that future. Just for what? Well, spite and revenge. was so blind. Looking back, it all makes sense. That's why he didn't want to follow the radio signal. He must have known it was coming from here. He used you all along. He was using you for petty revenge. Literally what I just said. Spiteful revenge. Yet, you remember the tremble in his voice, how small he looked, kneeling over the ruins of hope. You remember him screaming, "We begged you to drive them off." Revenge for his mother, his grandfather, the town he grew up in, an entire community died because the army refused to help. You don't blame Trash at all, Lenny. You need to talk to him to understand you don't think you can forgive him. We're gonna wait. We need to talk to him. We'll wait before making a decision. It's all very complicated. You need to talk to Lenny so he can make you understand. Regardless of your resolve, you cannot deny that you're hurting. How much of what the two of you shared was real? You have to talk to him. Ma'am, can I see him? Alpha gave permission for a visit. I won't be opening the door, though. The basement level is, in a word, depressing. Alright, well... At least they've got the basement part fucking right. As long as this isn't actually light at the end of the tunnel coming from daylight. As long as it's just a light... Which, sure, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. It's just a very light room. But it's actually, I think, the first time where they've said something and it's actually showed up to be that. Wow. A long stretch of iron-celled doors permeated by the lingering smell of filth. You can hear the incarcerated mutants shuffling about their cells. The soldier guarding the entrance leads you to one door, opens the slot near the top and leaves you to return to his post. 10 minutes, ma'am. You peek through the slot into the room beyond. David. Lenny gets to his feet, but doesn't make any move to come closer. I don't know what to say. Well, say something. Say something and I leave. Okay, he didn't say the word something. I screwed up real bad. I know I did. So you were using me. At first, yeah, but I didn't know you back then. And by the time I did know you, it was too late to tell you. Or admit anything once I was finding it out. Or deny that anything exists. I mean, it wasn't too late, was it? But I did the right thing in the end, didn't I? I brought you here, did I? No. You were dying after a cave-in, and I carried you, and the army found us. It's slightly different. You think that makes up for it, doesn't it? No, because it's not what happened! Lenny strides over to the door, face close through the cell window. Look, I get you're pissed off, but I've done a lot of good stuff too. Nope. I had a good 5 seconds thinking of anything. I'm struggling. How many times have I saved your ass, huh? As Lenny gets more agitated and defensive, you feel less inclined to accept his excuses. You knew there were other people here all along. Oh, I didn't know anything could have happened to him since I last saw him. Yeah. Everyone else bit it. 14 years is a long time. Eventually you're going to run out of excuses. There's still something important you don't quite understand yet. You did bring me here in the end, even knowing it would expose you. He didn't! Like, we were going anyway. He had no choice. You do the wrong thing, then the right thing, then the wrong thing. Everything you do just makes no sense. And I know why. Just tell me why. I don't understand. Just tell me why. Well, it's because I've gone and fallen in love with you, ain't it? And I know you don't feel the same, and that's, you know, whatever. It's the way it is. That, I swear, is the first line... Because the game seems to have assumed that I love Lenny a lot. That's the first line which is acknowledged that I've kicked it in the balls. The testicles have been firmly grabbed, squeezed, and punched. Ugh. I had to say it. Shoulders sloped, Lenny turns and starts walking away from the door. Fucking hell. The thing is I don't love you. I'm sort of wondering whether it will lead to a bad end. Which pisses me off to no end. Give me time. No, we need to make a decision here. But I love you's a terrible idea. Sorry, lads. I don't love you. Lenny sucks in a harsh breath. Right. Can't say I blame you. Man, I was doomed from the start. Suddenly interrupted by the guard from before, Lenny backs away from the door. Time's up, man. Right. You let the soldier escort you back up the stairs to the main level, head and heart spinning. Things have never been more of a mess. A few days later, you are heading into the mess for breakfast. Most of the others have already finished, so the hall is pretty empty. Ah, Miss Davette, come join me. Alpha is sitting alone as he finishes his morning meal, which is unusual for him. You hesitate on Alpha's orders. The guards posted downstairs have not allowed you to visit Lenny since the first time. Funny that. Things feel vaguely weird and uncomfortable around here now. Nevertheless, you can't exactly refuse the commander of the base. Yeah, no, we can't. It would be a terrible idea. Things have been rough the past few days, huh? They'd be better if I could see Lenny. No, they wouldn't. Yeah, it's been difficult. It's a damn shame is what it is. That boy is unstable. He's a danger to my men and you. He could stand to spend a little more time cooling off in his cell while I figure out what to do with him. Alpha stretches, groaning as his bones creak and pop. It's occurred to you before, but it strikes you again how unsoldier-like he can act sometimes. Yeah, it's because there haven't really been a proper army for fuck knows how many years. I'm not surprised. Like, more casual than you'd expect a man of his rank to be. Flexing his hands, Alpha, for the first time you've seen, starts removing his gloves. Noticing your gaze, Alpha grins. Curious? Once they're off, his right hand catches your eye. I was going to say, there's going to either be like a finger missing or a hand ablaze. From his thumb to his first finger along the meat of his hand, there is a huge pulpy scar. It looks almost like a... How did you get that scar? This is ancient. Got bit by some rabid mongrel pup some years back. Little scrap of a thing, but hell of a bite. Oh. I did kind of think that. Ha. Do you ever get that feeling where you sort of sit around and reminisce about maybe having made the wrong decision? Hang on, did I say I made the wrong decision? I don't know what you mean, if I'm honest. Wrong decision? No idea what you mean. No idea what you mean. Absolutely no idea. I was thinking that maybe if I didn't choose I Love You that it would be a bad ending, but I couldn't think how. But I was like, oh shit. Lenny stops in his tracks and turns. Are you serious? But I thought I changed my mind. Oh dear. Holy crap. This is amazing. Suddenly you're interrupted by the guard from before. Lenny backs away from the door. Yeah, okay, so we know all this bit, so I can just skip to this bit. They'd be better if I could see Lenny, of course. Why would I not pick that, right? I would always pick that, regardless of the situation. I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, okay, so we know all this bit, then skip it. I bit him down on his hand so hard I could hear the bone taste his blood. And when hope was nothing more than a bloody ruin, when it was too late to save anyone, then you came in and wiped the bandits out? David, Miss David, are you okay? Huh? Oh yeah, I'm fine. Obviously, it could be that scar is from something else. But probably not. Rising unsteadily to your feet, you rush out of the room, throwing some weak excuse back over your shoulder. Your head is spinning. Suddenly, all these strange suspicions have arisen in your mind, and you can't manage to make sense of them. Well, they all go by code names. Isn't that pretty fucking weird? That's not a normal army thing, is it? They killed the military? All those years ago? Is Gamma part of... Maybe Lenny's paranoia is rubbing off on you, but... Suddenly you don't feel as safe as you used to. Can you really trust these men? I'm going to go with probably not. No, not after that little revelation. Lenny gave us nothing to work with, but we kind of figured it out. Oh, Lord.